Several days ago, on December 10th, something truly heartbreaking happened in Henan province. A 28-year-old high school teacher jumped from the 7th floor of her wedding day. Her life came to a tragic end on the very day that was supposed to be her happiness. Her name was Wei Yarui. Her social media posts reveal that for the past 7 years, she had been constantly pressured by her parents to get married. She fought back with everything she had, but in the end, she couldn't escape. In her final words, she poured out all her hidden pain, mentioning her parents who forced her into marriage using death threats, relatives who constantly accused her of being disgraceful to their family, and a fiancé who was nothing but a source of frustration and disrespect. Every word was filled with such despair, and it's even hard to read. Actually, the day before the wedding, she had posted a notice saying the wedding was cancelled and all the gift money would be returned. But because her parents refused to let it go, this suffocating wedding proceeded exactly as planned. Back to wedding day, it was freezing, with temperatures near zero. Around 9 a.m., residents in the neighborhood suddenly saw someone fall from the building. Property management called the police immediately, and soon the ambulance and police cars arrived. A local resident named Miss Zhang, whose relative is from the same village as the bride, Yarui, said that when Yarui left for the wedding, she wasn't wearing any makeup or a wedding dress, just her everyday clothes. Video footage from neighbors later confirmed this. She was wearing light-colored jeans and a black top. No bride goes to her wedding without a dress or a makeup. It was obvious to everyone that she didn't want this. Insiders say Yarui had a huge argument with her parents that morning before reluctantly getting into the wedding car. The groom's family thought she had finally come around and was just waiting for her to arrive at the new apartment to change into her wedding dress. Yarui's hometown is a small village, while the groom's new apartment is in the country center, about 40 kilometers away. The apartment where she fell was this new home. According to the witness, after she reached the 7th floor apartment, she told everyone she needed to change into her dress and locked the door from the inside. No one realized that this lock would be their final goodbye. About 10 minutes later, people started shouting. Someone jumped. Right before she went over, she posted one last update. I'm a little scared. Downstairs is someone's yard. I'm sorry, this is the only chance I could find to end this. Even at the moment of ending her own life, she felt guilty about disturbing her neighbors. That kind of kindness is just devastating. One of Yarui's former students, whose sister was also Yarui's colleague, mentioned that her cancellation notice the day before was very clear, but her parents wouldn't have it. At the end of the day, they just didn't want to give back the bride price they had already received, the money that the grooms gave to them. Some say Yarui has an unmarried younger brother, and that money was likely intended for his future marriage. Yarui's old driving instructor was stunned when he heard the news. He remembered her being distracted during lessons. At the time, he just thought she was being a typical young girl. Only now that he realized she was already carrying a world of weight on her shoulders. What many might not know is that Yarui was an exceptional teacher. In 2022, she ranked first in both written exam and total score to become a history teacher at Luoshan High School. Her students remember her as a gentle, tall woman who never lost her temper. Back then, students were not allowed to have phones, So if anyone needed to call home, she'd always lend them hers. One student recalled that the day she died was actually his birthday. When he heard the news, he was in total shock. After confirming with classmates, they felt a mix of grief and anger, all asking the same thing: why did this have to happen? One of her former students, now in college, remembers her as a very chill person. Even when her class ranked last in the school, she wouldn't get angry. She'd just smile and tell the students, "Well, I've got to another little meeting now," which was basically a session where school leaders scolded teachers of underperforming class. Despite being criticized constantly, she never once blamed her students. She loved wearing traditional Chinese-style clothes. She was tall, elegant, and always seemed so bright. Yet this gentle and bright woman looked completely impressionless in photos with her fiancé, a total stranger compared to the person her students knew. On the morning of December 10th, she took that wedding car to a strange home, used the excuse of changing to lock the door, and locked away the last shred of hope. Finally, she jumped from the 7th floor, landing in a small yard below, ending her brief and heavy life. This isn't just an isolated case. It's a vivid reflection of the clash between two generations in today's China society, a tangle of older traditions, parental obsessions, and the younger generation's pursuit of freedom and happiness. That is for today's video. If you would like to hear more stories about the lives of ordinary people in China, please subscribe to my channel. I will see you in next one. Bye.